Hey guys, this is Tyler. It is September 27th here. I'm going to just talk to everyone, especially younger guys here, why the dating app Badoo is a waste of time for anyone, but especially for younger men. So Badoo is of course, a big competitor of Tinder. It's kind of in Russia, I think it's their biggest dating app. Badoo's became a major player in the dating app market. There's a lot of people with profiles, which is good and bad. Unfortunately, what like other dating apps, it's became kind of this default Instagram. And many girls and women have Badoo accounts. If you go into Russia or Ukraine, it's huge the number of females that have accounts. It's so big, like I said, it's almost like an Instagram account at this point, which is precisely why I think it's extremely ineffective. Now, likewise in Estonia, many girls also have Badoo accounts, especially the Russian-speaking Estonians. It's very common. There also are Estonian-speaking Estonians that do have it, and it's very popular, like Tinder. But like I said before, it often serves as a sort of Instagram or social media profile. It's often a waste of time, man, honestly, to use and to try pipeline girls. It's got into a point now where I think there's just not a lot of real kind of people on here. And similar to Tinder, you deal with a lot of scammers. You have a lot of psychopathic behaviors. You have these kind of money schemes. And I think Badoo also, I have Badoo account. I think there's a lot of payment options where guys have to pay to use certain features. And it's a big waste of time and money, honestly. It won't serve a purpose. Like I've spoken about on Tinder, in general, online dating scene is terrible in Estonia. I myself, at this point, I don't use online dating in Estonia. But for guys who do, I have friends and acquaintances who have used online dating and who currently, and most of them at some point just opted not to use it in Estonia. They just felt that it was a waste of their time. And I have friends that have used both Tinder, used Badoo, or used both. And typically it doesn't work. That's just the honest outlook. Keep in mind that in Estonia, I've spoken about this before. Firstly, most people don't meet through online dating apps. This is not the norm. This isn't like America, like Canada, Russia. People typically don't meet through online dating apps, their relationships. Secondly, is that most Estonians prefer to be with other Estonians. So if you're like a foreign person on one of these dating apps, most of these ladies aren't even going to be interested in you. Being totally honest, they may express interest, but it's not real interest. There's a big difference. Communicating with someone doesn't mean that they're innately interested in you, and that's something you got to understand here. You can go ahead and communicate. They may have some correspondence, doesn't really mean they actually have interest in you, and this is often the case. Like I've said in previous videos, typically in these small, tiny countries, people stick with themselves. They stay with their own, and this is just how it is. There are some exceptions, of course. There are some locals with foreign people, but these are the anomalies, as we say in English. These are the outliers in the situation. On Badoo, you'll have a lot of people, obviously, that either will waste your time, you'll contact them, or you'll match with them, and then nothing will play out. Or you'll have correspondence, and then you won't end up meeting with the person, and it just becomes kind of useless. Maybe you'll meet someone or a couple, and they're literally psychopathic, and you may not feel comfortable even meeting them. They may be a guy, actually. That's another thing to understand. There's a lot of catfishing now on apps like Badoo, like Tinder and Instagram. There's a lot of catfishing. These may not even be legitimate girls that you're meeting. These could be guys. And understand that apps too will often create fake accounts. This is very common within even bigger companies. They create a lot of fake accounts to help engage more people, to help increase the interest in the app. It looks better, obviously, when there's seems to be an abundance of accounts on the platform, and it causes more people to open accounts. But some of these accounts aren't even legitimate accounts, legit people that you're speaking to. Understand too, as a guy, why the heck would a girl have to be on a dating app? If they're an attractive lady, they're going to have plenty of face-to-face options, honestly. Like, that's something you got to understand here. That why would they have to use an online dating app? Most cases, they're going to have plenty of situations in face-to-face settings where they can meet a boyfriend, where they can meet a husband. This is the first reason why dating apps usually don't really serve much purpose, especially in small countries like Estonia. Yes, it's absolutely different. You go over to Russia, you go to Ukraine, bigger countries, there's a lot of people obviously don't have interaction with each other. There's not as much mutual associations. Yes, because of how, like we'd see in America or Canada, there's going to be more uncertainty often, so dating apps do serve more purpose. In these small kind of countries, it doesn't really mesh properly with the society at hand. This isn't the normal mechanisms that people utilize to find a spouse. There are a few things that you could use Badoo for, and it's the same reason as Tinder. If you just wanted to get some practice with texting or how to communicate with a girl or lady, and here you could make mistakes. You could say whatever, or if it was just to get validation, if it was to just talk to someone, it would be perfectly fine. But chances are, for most younger guys here, they're not going to just want to fool around on an app talking to a girl. They could probably find someone in person, or they would have a friend for that. That's where you got to be realistic. This is a thing to be understood here. You got to use objective, pragmatic metrics when you're looking at these apps. Is it serving you value? Is it saving you time, making life easier? Is it accomplishing what the desire isn't actually, of course, to talk to someone. It's not to meet someone. It's to have a relationship, possibly a marriage. That's obviously the point of a dating app, a dating service, is to find a girlfriend or to find a spouse. That is the goal here. And that's what you have to understand. That is the main course. That's what you're shooting for. It isn't to talk to someone. It's not to go on a date. It is to marry someone or to find a girlfriend. And that's what what you have to always understand. Whether it's Badoo, whether it's Tinder, what's the end goal here? And is it accomplishing that, or is it helping you? And if it isn't, get rid of it. It doesn't serve purpose. It doesn't serve value. There's other utile things you could be doing in your life that would be more beneficial. You'll feel better about yourself also. A lot of guys get really depressed. They get really down on themselves because they get onto these stupid dating apps like Badoo, and they think that they're not of high enough value. They're not good enough. They're not getting enough validation or something. And they don't realize how rigged and how these apps are designed. They're designed to give you a certain psychological feeling that just isn't good, honestly, for a younger guy. So that's why I say get the app off your phone. If it makes you feel down, just get rid of it. It's not necessary. You'll replace it with something much more positive and useful in your life. That's how to look at it. So I look forward to everyone's feedback in my video here, and thank you.